Hi, this is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. A friend of mine asked me a very interesting question. Is bariatric surgery cheating? And I kind of suspected what he was talking about this is what I think he was thinking. He said, look, people that deserve credit for losing weight are the people that go to the gym and they do calorie restriction and they sweat off their pounds and all that type of stuff. Those are the real heroes when it comes to weight loss. You just cheated because you got 70% of your stomach cut out and therefore you don't deserve any praise for it. Well, frankly, I think, anybody that loses weight, I'm all in favor of it, however you manage to do it. But frankly, I'm not that concerned about weight loss as I am about getting healthy. One of the problems with people that do bariatric surgery and use drugs like Wegovy or Ozempic is that if they come into with the attitude that it's a magic wand and that weight loss is the most important thing, they're not going to be getting themselves healthy. They're actually going to be losing a lot of lean tissue. And lean tissue comes off the scale just as much as fat does. The latest studies I've seen on the people that are using the current weight loss drugs is that they are losing almost as much lean tissue as they are fat, and that is going to be a very dangerous combination down the line. Because when you lose lean muscle tissue, you lose your fast twitch muscles, you're going to make yourself more susceptible to bone breaks, hip fractures, a whole host of problems that you just don't want as you age. Now, the whole point of losing fat is to help get yourself healthy. And that can be done in a lot of different ways. And there's a guy that I'm working with that has got horrible carb addictions. He's a type 2 diabetic. He knows that, he's going to go blind and have, and he can't lose the weight as long as he eats carbs. But he just can't, the cravings get so bad that it just hits him after 2-3 days. And he's going to try to use Wegovy for a couple of months just to help get him over the edge where he doesn't have, where he can get over the carb addictions, which is an interesting, I will keep track on his progress. I will be glad to share his results as we go along further. But it's an interesting concept. I think you can do a better job of overcoming your carb addictions if you just muscle it out for 2 weeks, just eat nothing but hamburger for 2 weeks, and you'll get over the overall cravings, and then you work like you would with any other addiction issue after the cravings have passed. The physical cravings end after about 2 weeks, akin to like smoking. But they're real. It's a challenge overcoming any type of craving like that. I had to, in order to prepare for bariatric surgery, I had to get rid of processed food. I had to go to a very low carb diet in order to shrink the liver because I had, fatty liver, and if I didn't get rid of that, I was going to have real problems having the surgery. So, that's part of the deal, and bariatric surgery is not a magic wand. I mean, there's a lot of people that have bariatric surgery that never lose weight, and there's a lot of people that regain their weight after bariatric surgery because, what bariatric surgery does, besides reducing the amount of food that you can eat, and that lasts, can be up to 2 years, and it reduces the hunger hormone ghrelin because that ghrelin hormone is created in your stomach, and when you cut out 70% of the stomach, you get rid of a lot of this hunger signals. But after about 18 months, the body starts to create more ghrelin from the intestine. That gets into the bloodstream, so you've still got the same hunger problems. And if you haven't made the lifestyle changes during those first 18 months, you got problems. I know, I had kind of that same way. I got a little lax and was eating a little bit more processed food, and I found myself gaining a little bit of weight. I noticed that creep up 2 years after having the surgery. And one of my first post bariatric surgery diet, and that's when I discovered keto and low carb and started to realize more and more about what that means to metabolic health, and changed my diet completely after that. And I've been able to do a very low carb approach now for over 7 years and carnivore for 3. and have only gotten more and more healthy the less processed food that I have, the more meat that I eat. So it's not a magic wand. And frankly, I don't like to think that the only real heroes are the calorie restrictors, because you have to look at the people that did the Biggest Loser challenge. I mean, these are people that were on a TV show, highly motivated. They were worked to death doing all these ridiculous exercise campaigns. They ate very calorie restricted for an extended period of time, and they lost a tremendous amount of weight. But they all regained it except for one in that particular study. Some of them are actually heavier today than they were before they joined the show. And that's despite the fact that they still eat a calorie restricted diet and they work out like maniacs. Many of them became health coaches. So they lost their income too because they're no longer success stories. So, this is losing weight with calorie restriction is not the best way to do it. They're not heroes. Meta-analysis of people that do calorie restriction show that almost everybody regains their weight after about a year. And it's because when you do calorie restriction, you're slowing down your body's metabolic rate. That's how we're designed. When you start putting yourself in starvation mode, the body starts to preserve itself by trying to, minimize the fat loss, utilizing lean tissue, because it wants to stick around for the long famine. That's the way we're designed, and it takes a while to boost your metabolism back up again so that it's back to where it was, and it has to be done very slowly. And it's a little more scientific than I can explain right now, but really, frankly, for the most part, everybody that does a low-calorie approach, calorie restriction type of diet, is going to regain the weight once they start eating normally again. The solution is to find a lifestyle, a way of eating that you can do for the long haul. And that's what I love about keto and carnivore. I mean, it is, to me, it's ancestrally appropriate. It tastes delicious. It's real food. It doesn't boost your insulin levels. And my weight has stayed stable for years by doing it. And it's not, to me, a diet, it's a lifestyle. It is a way of eating that I'm going to stick to for the long haul, and a lot of other people are doing it too. So the secret to long-term weight loss is really finding the diet combination that works for you. And frankly, if you don't have a lot of weight to lose, and you're not a candidate for bariatric surgery or Wegovy or anything like that, but you want to be maximally healthy, just get rid of the industrial seed oils, processed food, and all the sugar that we're getting, and get rid of grains. I mean, those pulverized grains are not what we're designed to eat. We don't have the type of gut designed for fermentation of grains. And when you do that, you're going to be maximally healthy. What that means is when you go grocery shopping, you stay away from the center aisles, and you concentrate your buying in the fruit and vegetable section, the meat section, dairy and eggs. If you're doing that and you can just eat those things, that's going to be the stuff that's going to produce maximum health. I'm not, so completely sold on any one diet that I think one size fits all. I mean, if you like vegetables, that's great. Just stay away from anything that's processed. Any canned vegetables is going to have added sugar into it. Any processed food that contains all those vegetables, if you dig into it, you're going to see added sugar. And stay away from the bread. That's an ultra-processed food. I mean, you can't really find what they would consider a whole grain unless you find stalks of wheat and you just start chomping on them, and I don't think you're going to like it. Save that stuff for the ruminant animals that produce the meat that keep you healthy. This is Kirk, the Bariatric Carnivore. If you like this message, if you want to hear more like it, if you've had bariatric surgery and you've had success on it, let people know down below. Make a comment. If you're one of these people that keeps failing at calorie restriction diets and says, look, I need to find something that I can stick to in the long haul, share your comments below. Let other people know that they're not alone. And hit the like and subscribe button. That tells the YouTube algorithm that people like this message and they need to share it with even more people. And the more people adhere, the more people we get in this planet getting healthy, and we need a lot more healthy people, because only about 12% of Americans are metabolically healthy, and we're in deep trouble, and it's costing us trillions of dollars each year in bad health outcomes. So if you owe it to yourself to just hit the like and subscribe button to help me get this message out to even more people. I try to put out a new message every single workday, and I will talk to you tomorrow.